Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I figured out a way to clear some space up, and got an update for you in regards to my little situation. So this would be therapy session 16, even though we made one like 3 hours ago. So yeah, things have gotten a little better, a little better. After all that praying and all that testimony and all that, I was saying, I was trying my very best to just stay firm on the Lord and see to it that whatever ends up happening, just kind of just be what it is. I did my part, and now it's just out of my control. So, I made the phone calls that I needed to make, as I said this morning. I called them again as well, and they just recently called me back and told me that, the police station situation is not necessary anymore because it's out of the system. After 30 days, it's no longer in the system. So, as to where I would need to go down there and then pay them $15 for a slip, that is no longer a process that's even necessary. All I have to do is go to recovery management directly from my house, and pick up my car. So the amount of favor that I found in that is overwhelming. You guys have a very good idea. Actually, I was gonna say you have no idea, but no, you guys know exactly what's going on. So what that means is that saves me roughly of about $50. And as you know, I'm trying to budget about $100. So to say the least, that was a huge, huge thing. I'm still considering taking the bus down there, to be honest with you. Save myself the $30 that the Uber trip would take me, because I do need the money. I mean, $30 trip is ridiculous. Transport yourself anywhere. We just kind of get used to the convenience of it all. But I think today, especially since I ain't been out the house, it probably would be all right for me to make it a long trip. Make it an exaggerated trip rather than just hopping in somebody's car and doing that. I need to walk, get some air. So I might do that. We'll see. The appointment's at 2:15, so we got roughly 4 hours before we have to actually be there, which means I'd probably leave here in about 2 hours if I would decide to take the bus. So yeah, man, this is just one of those situations where I feel like the Lord is organically pulling me toward what it is that He was ultimately planning. This is extremely fortuitous because I took care of all the financial ramifications before the stock started bleeding like this. I think I took care of this nonsense when the stock was at like $36 or $37. So I had the money to do it. The money was spent on something. It wouldn't just bleed out of my account for the temporary like it's doing most people right now. It did me some good. So I hate the fact that I had the paper hand, but I just mismanaged my life, man. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Throughout my crap and all the stuff that I was going through with my job and the stresses I was feeling and what I was coming out of mentally, I just didn't manage my life very well. I was running a lot on hopes and dreams, and allowing my eggs to stay in baskets that didn't really serve me the way that it needed to in helping assist me hold these shares. So, you couple that with my inactivity and not wanting to work and all that, you're gonna find yourself broke. So, but what I also been doing is trying to stay active in the things I love to do, this channel and all that music stuff I always tell you about. And it's not like I'm trying to be just laying in the house in bed depressed. It's I'm working on things that I actually love doing, and I just feel like that's what it really is for me. At this age, I don't really look at my life as someone who has a whole lot of time to be playing around about following passions. I spend a whole lot of my life reacting to things and looking at things from a I need to protect myself perspective. I need to cover myself and shield myself, hide myself perspective. And now it's like, all right, well, I found out a bunch of stuff I love to do. Now I'm ready to throw myself into it finally after all this time. And I don't really want to waste any more of my years just making it, just getting by, 17 an hour or what have you, jobs. I don't. If there's any possible way for me to climb my way out of that without ever going back to that, that's what I need to do. Because when I get into that situation, one or two things happen. Either years start passing by with nothing to show for it, which is what it's been for the last 10, or I end up burning out, get into them situations, end up stressing out, and end up getting to a point where I'm unhealthily miserable, is what I would call it. That's what I reached, a space where I was very unhealthily miserable about 5 months ago, when I just abruptly left my job, and that was that. So, the anticipation of wanting this thing to run, the stock to run, the anticipation of just basically wanting to get out of this financial hole that I've been in, the sacrifices that came with the way I was choosing to live to keep them shares, and be on this level at the same time. It was hard, and not deal with anybody at all, because that was big monkey wrench in my whole situation. Is not getting help, receiving help, or communicating with others. And when you do things alone, you get lonely results. You get results that you bump your head on. You know, you don't necessarily get things done properly when you go at it on your own. So that's what's happened here with me. So, but I'm thankful. You know, as you can see, the Lord is starting to once again show me that the prayers and the favor that I have is evident. You know, that even though things have sucked for a good 37 years, they've also been blessed for 37 years, and there's balance to be seen and had about that. And there's hope that maybe this is leading to something. Maybe that I won't continue to be in this mental space and this financial space for the rest of my life. You know, for which, if I was told that was how life would be for the rest of my life, then I would probably have some desire to leave it entirely. So, no, I want to keep living, and I want life to get better, and that's that. But yeah, man, I can tell you I don't want to go through another 37 years of that. I can tell you that much. I'm not going to lie to anybody and say that I want my life to continue going the same way it's been. No, I want some things to change drastically, and some things have to change on the inside in order for that to happen. So we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, I'm just thankful that in the short term, I've been able to not only see some favor in regards to this car situation, but also been able to maintain my balance in the midst of some very serious anxiety issues that have just kind of just re-emerged in my life over the past 3 months or 4 months of really intense mental concerns that I've been going through on my own, emotional stuff that ain't got nothing to do with how my personality naturally is. You know, they say when you deal with yourself when you're alone. You know what I mean? You learn who you are, you deal with stuff, the pains and things like that. I went through a great season of that over the last 4 or 5 months. I needed that. And I tell you, mentally, I think I'm in a better place than I was then. I feel more balanced. I feel like I have more outlets to funnel that energy. And so that's what these last 4 months have done for me, 5 months or whatever it's been. But, you know, I look at myself in the mirror, and I'm more proud of who I am today as well, even though these mistakes are starting to play themselves out. I'm proud that I'm recognizing there's been mistakes. I'm proud that I recognize that, you know, more damage can be done if I don't stop certain things, and I'm starting to do what needs to be done in some areas. You know, at least holding myself accountable for certain things and that I may not have been in the past. And that's the type of display that I hope to show everybody else. It isn't easy being honest or bearing your soul or admitting that you have some struggles, but what it is fruitful in dealing with them and going forward. So that's my hope, to try to share that with you guys. Now, as far as what else, we'll see. You know, we'll see. Like I said, I'm not the greatest planner in the world, but one thing's for certain: when I get my vehicle back, I do not want to go through another 4 months of staying in the house. One of the reasons why I was having such anxiety issues about the car before it was taken was because I was concerned about it being taken. I knew I wasn't paying the bill. I knew it had been repossessed before, and I remember that feeling of it being first repossessed. So what I ended up having develop in this house before it was even taken, about a month before it was even taken, was an anxiety about, and I talked about this in one of my therapy videos too, an anxiety about the car being repoed for a second time. So that became a great deal of stress for me before this even happened. I was getting up every day, maybe sometimes twice a day, and hitting the button on my car just to hear if it was there, you know, and it was such a very, very, very damaging time for me to be going through all of that and feeling what I was also feeling in other areas. And it was like I knew I had the money. That was the part that was so making me so unhappy, was like, the money's there. It's just that I'm sacrificing it so I can stay in AMC, and you guys know that took a real toll on me. So I'm a relentless person when it comes to stuff like this. When it comes to something I want to stand on, you know, I'll stand. I'll stand and let it fall down on top of me if that's what it takes. And so that's what you're seeing here, honestly, in some ways, you know. As I sit here and say, I can't afford this, can't afford that, can't afford that, I've been able to afford it all year. You know, it's just that when you discipline yourself to not move, or you discipline yourself to not waver from whatever it is that you know you shouldn't, or whatever it is you're standing on, you're gonna take the lumps with it, and so that's the type of thing that kind of ran me into the ground mentally, just the notion that it was there, and and I was still taking on the consequences of not paying those bills. And then I fell into a bit of confusion about that as well. It's like, am I doing this for the right reasons? Do I have the money? Like, you really start losing your mind. Like, am I really broke? Like, how broke am I? Like, if I can touch this money, should I? And there have been moments at times where I said, I don't care what happens. I'd rather be homeless and give up my shares. And then it's just a lot of different mental spaces that I went through in this process, by myself, alone, completely. And, like I said, I look in the mirror and I'm proud of this guy, I'm proud of this guy as it pertains to staying true to what it is he believes in. Also, and hold himself accountable for all that I already said. So, yeah, man, that's where we at. Very, very excited about this day. It's finally here. There's no obstacles in my way of picking up my vehicle. Only thing I got to do is make my way to where it is and effectively get it home. What this also helps with, which is a big part of it, was I don't know what the gas situation of that car looks like. When they took it, there wasn't hardly no gas in it. Like, I didn't put any gas because I wasn't taking it anywhere. So I was running on basically fumes, because all I was taking it was once every week down to the grocery store, and that was the only place it was going for like a good month before it was even taken. So, my thinking was I didn't have insurance, so I wasn't going to be playing games with my car. Even though I would love to drive back to my hometown of Hollywood, or slide back to certain places I used to be, just for fun. I had days like that where I felt that was good to to kind of get out and feel some air. But my thing was, if I get all the way out there, get into a car accident, no insurance, I'm screwed, gotta sell shares. Or if I go all the way out there, something goes wrong, I get pulled over, no insurance, gotta sell shares, gotta deal with that. So my thinking just confined me to this space. It's like I'm too broke to leave the house. It was one of those type of things. So rather than going to work, which was also a strain on my head as we documented quite a bit, I just stayed put, and was anxious over the car being taken. So that's what I don't want to go back into. When I get that car back into that garage, I want to have somewhere to take it. I want to have a destination for it. I want to have a plan for it, pay it off, and so on and so forth, to be able to keep up with all that needs to be done, and to just be more active in my life. Even if I ain't doing nothing in general, just drive, get some air, feel some sunlight. I'll tell you, the type of year I've had. And then, just get the stress out from under me, man. I'm very thankful that this hyperpigmentation on my neck is starting to fade. I know y'all probably seen the videos, maybe even today, with greasy neck and stuff like that. I mean, just hard stuff your boy been dealing with on his own. You know what I mean? Like, literally by myself. The shock of that was alone was a stressful thing, because I ain't the vainest dude in the world, but I'm on camera every day. So you look up and you got a spot on your head right here, you got a spot on your head right here, and then you got this big, huge thing on your neck as if you hung yourself or something. And I said it came from stress, but as I did some homework, I realized that it actually came from my body changing. I can no longer have detergent that I was able to have in certain soaps and things like that. So I had to revamp all my soap. I had to revamp all my detergent. I had to clean all of my towels and stuff like that, because anytime I would use a towel that had been washed with previous detergent, I was having more issues. So what ended up causing this particular, one that you can't really see anymore, but to an extent you may be able to, was a towel. It was a stupid towel, man, that was washed heavily with whatever that detergent was that I was, allergic to. Because at the time, that was another thing. I was so stupid about it. I would just pour all types of detergent, like way more than necessary in some cases, just because I never had issues, so it never was a thing. But yeah, that was real. I put the towel down on my pillow. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it gets hot. You don't want to sweat all over your pillow and stuff like that. So I put the towel down, laid my head down on the pillow, turned my head on the pillow, woke up, and my skin was peeling, like literally peeling. My neck, because I had wiped my neck earlier with that same towel, you know what I mean? Doing a workout, put it on my head, wipe it on my head. That thing had me looking like I had a serious leprosy issue, and you guys can go back and look at the videos from summertime. I was really, really going through it, and it was itching 100% of the time. And with the thing about this thing is the way it works is you're gonna continue to have issues with it, even though it appears to heal. If you ever put anything that may have been allergic to it, it's going to continue to reactivate. And so I started having a lot of issues with the activation issues, constantly reactivating. When I think it would start to calm down, I'm starting to put cocoa butter. Now I would need to go back and put the cortisone cream back on there constantly. So this has been never ending. I walk around here smelling like a brownie all day long because I'm constantly reapplying cocoa butter on the neck to keep it, you know what I'm saying? Keep it going. So it's finally starting to disappear, man. I've been at this for as long as it's happened. I've been relentless because, of course, I don't leave the house, so there's nothing to keep the treatment going. So I've been very fortunate. They told me when I did a little homework on it, talking about $150 for this, $130 to, get surgery if you need. None of that is necessary. All I needed was about 5 of these. I think we're on our 6th one of these right now. Continue. About 4 treatments a day, and it got rid of that stuff. It's well on its way to being gone completely. So I don't want to turn this into a dermatology video, but sometimes the stuff that they ask you to purchase, you don't need none of that. Just get some cocoa butter, some sunlight, you should be cool. And then cortisone cream, of course. That's most important. But yeah, man, these are the issues, man. This is what you boys been dealing with. Broken alone, man. Semi-broke, but alone. And that's not something to be proud of. You want to keep yourself around people. You don't want to be by yourself. Community will help you through circumstances. I think about the community in Kentucky. You know what I mean? Imagine if I lived out there, you know what I mean, the way that I am, and something like that were to take place. You know what I mean? You need a community around. You need everybody to help everybody. You know what I mean? So I just want to encourage everybody to be nothing like me in that regard. I'm like this because my brain's like this. I'm not like this because I think it's what's best. It's not. You want to keep as many good people around you while being as loyal and as good of a human being to them as possible. That is conducive to being in a supportive environment. So that's what I want to say, man. I understand that. And I got a lot of love for you guys. I appreciate you. Hopefully my voice and my way can help somehow. So happy to be getting my vehicle back, even though I'm not really sure what way to go about it in terms of how I'm going to handle my life. But at least that season is behind us. And next, well, I'll tell you, man, just like I've always been, I'm still hopeful that the stock will go to parabolic. And then we can have some real talks about what's going to happen next. Then we can start talking about how your boy's about to start enjoying the next season of his life, But the reality is, we don't know how long it's going to take. So we just stand firm and continue to believe in what we're doing. So as an ape, I tell everybody, I'm in this. I ain't going nowhere. And it's kicked my butt, but I ain't going nowhere anyway. I don't care. I'm relentless. I'm steadfast. I'm a believer. I just wish I had better habits in managing my money. That's it. Other than that, all in and very happy about it. I want to thank you guys again. My name is BDF 44. This is my therapy session video number 16. A lot of things have come my way that I'm okay with. So in the midst of my struggles, I show appreciation. BDF 44. Peace.